Hey guys, it's been aka Tapboard. Today I got some gameplay of Battlefield Hardline. I started using the SPAS a little bit, and then I move over to the AWM, which is the OP if you play Counter-Strike, or the Arctic Warfare Police, or I guess M probably maybe stands for military in this, but it's one of the most advanced sniper rifles in the world. Anyway, there's your tidbit for information today. So, Battlefront Alpha is now in progress, and we're starting to see more and more gameplay on YouTube. But it's kind of odd. People are like really hating on the game for what appears to be more or less no reason to me. Before we saw any gameplay, any real gameplay, the worry was that we would be getting a reskin of any other Battlefield game. But now that some gameplay is out, people are complaining that it's not more like Battlefield, which doesn't make any sense to me. Battlefront is not Battlefield, however similar the titles may be. Battlefront already has established rules set by the first and second game. I don't see how people can act like a game made by a certain developer, in this case, DICE, / the publisher EA, who are known for Battlefield, and I guess Hardline in this case. Well, Battlefield, or Hardline was a Battlefield title, but still. Just because they're known for something doesn't mean you can expect only a certain type of game from them. That's like if you held Nintendo to its original standard of making side-scrolling platformers. Nintendo obviously branched out, and now they're making tons of different games. Although sure, some of them share similarities, most of them are pretty unique. That's the same way this is. Battlefront is its own game. It's following rules set by the first and second game. Some complaints I've seen are that the game is in third person. Well, it's always been a third-person game. I've seen a complaint that it has first-person. Well, it's also been a first-person game. Previously, you've had to pause, go into your settings, and then choose to go into third or first-person. Now, it's a click of a button. Yes, there are problems that third-person introduced, such as peeking around corners without being exposed. And those are disadvantages that someone playing first-person wouldn't have. But that's just going to turn out to be something that skilled players will know and not skilled players will have to learn or just have to deal with. Yes, it's a more casual game than what we're known for from Battlefield, but that doesn't mean it has a super low skill ceiling. Sorry. Third person is more or less a feature. If I'm the smarter player and I peek corners with third person and then maybe strafe around them in first person to get some more accurate shots, that's completely my advantage. And as long as everyone has the ability to go through those first and third person views, we're on a level playing field. You can outplay me and I can outplay you. Another thing I've seen is a complaint that the fighters, you know, the X-Wing and the Y-Wing and the Snow Speeder, the Snow Cruiser, can't remember what it's called, I think it's the Snow Speeder, are kind of kill streaks where you have to call them in. I agree, I was also expecting them to be more like jets, but if you look at jets in Battlefield 3, that was the only time we've seen jets grounded and able to be ground. In Battlefield 4, for the most part, if you choose to spawn a jet, I'm pretty sure you can still land it, but most people just fly around in it until they end up getting out to, you know, parachute down onto an objective or get shot out of the sky themselves. This new system has you call in I'm all over the place. Has you call in your fighter, and then fly around in it. You can't land it, but you can opt to get out of it, as far as I know, and then let someone else use it. This makes way more sense to me, because people who want aerial combat can play it and not have to worry about people taxiing their vehicles. This is a problem we saw several times and in several iterations of Battlefield. Most specifically for me, Battlefield 4, where you'll see unskilled pilots use transport helicopters literally exclusively for their own personal transport. Pilots who like their job and who don't mind getting less points as slayers or the gunners even on these, you know, vehicles deserve to have the right to fly their vehicles. If I'm a skilled pilot, why should, you know, Johnny 557, who's a level 6, be able to get in the helicopter and crash it into an objective so that he can get a few more points? So those are two complaints that I've seen. Another one is that you can't control the AT-ATs, which, for those of you who don't know, are those big walkers that you saw in the first film. The original Star Wars trilogy, of course. First of the originals. I understand. In the previous games, we could control them, and it was fine. But we have kind of evolved into a game where trolling gets views on YouTube, and where trolling is just a fun way to get a rise out of people. And I never played Battlefront 2 or the first one, but I don't think the first one even had AT-ATs online, so I don't know if trolling with them was an issue. But you still have the ATSTs that let you walk around, and if you don't know, those are those like smaller walkers that like walk around on 2 legs. You saw them in the battle for Endor in Return of the Jedi, I think. And those are kind of a fair trade-off. And I think also it's a big important matter because in this specific game mode that I've seen so much of here in the alpha gameplay, the AT-AT is kind of an objective point, and it's just not right. It's the same way with the AC-130 gunship from Battlefield 4, and I believe Battlefield 3 also had it in the final DLC. It's such a core part of the gameplay that someone who can get in it and just march around the map and ruin everyone's experience just isn't fair. So I am definitely excited for the game. I will be probably even downloading it at midnight. I'll definitely be playing the beta and uploading some footage of it. I'm also going to be keeping everyone updated. I'm going to make news videos and stuff like that. I'm content with the game. To me, it does look like a Battlefront game. It does not look very similar to Battlefield, and that's exactly what I've wanted as long as it's been announced. I did not want a Star Wars reskin of Battlefield. We already got a police one, which you're watching right now, and we all know how that worked out. It crashed and burned. If the game is no good, I'll let you know. But chances are, from what I've seen already, the game is going to be fine. So everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And if you disagree with something I've said, absolutely, I want to hear it. I want to know, and maybe you can change my mind. But for the most part, I think, one, this is an alpha. We're not allowed to really make severe judgments at this point yet because there's nothing to exactly judge on. 2, it's a Battlefront game and it's already following pre-established rules. So hating on this, you're just hating on the older games as well. So if you don't like this, you probably didn't play or enjoy the previous ones. So why are you here now looking at this one like it's going to be, the change that the franchise needed? I am extremely happy with what I've seen so far. The gameplay looks fun, the maps look balanced, the weapons look balanced. I've yet to see some hero gameplay, but I'm sure they're fine too, considering the balance of them was already more or less perfect in the second installment of the game. But that's all I have to say for now. Like I said, I'll be bringing you guys some gameplay, and I want to hear your opinions. Thanks for watching. This has been Ben, aka Taport. Peace.
Drop the bomb. You're hot, bitch.